All right, peace, brothers and sisters. Let's talk boxing. Man, I got to see a master at work. Demetrius Bivol against um, Gilberto Ramirez. Demetrius Bivol beat Gilberto Ramirez. He outboxed him. And see, this is what I'm saying about quote unquote fighting. A lot of times you don't have to go for the knockout and things of this nature. You just have to be in shape and throw a lot of punches and not wild punches and stuff like that. All these punches are precise. You know what I'm saying? You wait for the moment that you can hit your target and you just unleash a barrage of punches. And this is what Demetrius Bivol did to Canelo Alvarez, and this is what he did to Gilberto Ramirez. And see, this is a prime example also of when you're a fighter. Gilberto had 40 wins, 0 losses, and 30 knockouts. And see, this is another thing that we have to understand too, is that just because you got that record, it don't necessarily mean that you the boogeyman per se. It's because when you're in boxing, you have to fight multiple different styles. And in my opinion, looking at this fight, I said this before the fight even took place, even though I had it like 50-50, but towards um, the making of the fight, I was leaning towards Bivol. I didn't count out Ramirez because Ramirez is a very good fighter, and I think that he shouldn't hold his head down. I think that he needs to learn from this. It's because, see, when you're a fighter, you got 40 wins, 30 knockouts. You should be fighting against a lot of different styles. See, and this shows you that Oscar De La Hoya and they they put him in there with some very good contenders. I heard Bushido Boxing talks about that he was just in there with the toughest opponent. Not so much the toughest opponent, but the notable opponent that Gilberto Ramirez was in there was against I think Jason Hart. I seen that fight. That was a very good fight, but that's not it. He's been in there with some very nice contenders, but he has never been in there with a boxer like Demetrius Bivol. And when you get in there with a person like that, and you had never really faced that person, yeah, they sparred against each other and stuff like that, but in a fight, in a professional fight, he has never been in there with a person like that. And that's going to pose a problem for an individual like that. Demetrius Bivol is the type of guy, he moves the ring pretty good. You know, he knows how to uh, throw punches when necessary. He used pretty good defense. He get hit sometime and stuff like that, but he's a very good boxer, and he has decent little defense too. And he showcased his boxing ability. He destroyed Gilberto Ramirez from a boxing standpoint of view. I'm looking at Demetrius Bivol. I know that Baturviev is a very good fighter. I think he has 100% knockout ratio, 17-0 with 17 knockouts. But Demetrius Bivol is the truth, man. That dude there is the truth. He showed you what boxing is about. You ain't necessarily got to be a knockout artist. See, when he was hitting that guy with those straight punches, a couple of times he was hitting Gilberto Ramirez with 4-5 straight punches at once, and it looked like he was gonna stop Gilberto. But Gilberto he has a lot of heart, and he took a lot of those punches. You know what I'm saying? But Demetrius Bivol showed you what greatness is. You know what I'm saying? And they fought against each other at pretty much the prime of their careers. And this is another thing that I like. So for Gilberto Ramirez, I don't think that he should hold his head down. I think that the team of Gilberto Ramirez need to put him in there with different styles of fight. See, he's used to fighting people that come straight to him, that's going to give him a war and things of this nature. He's used to that. But he's not used to a boxer puncher. So um, they need to continue to move forward, but they need to put him in there with individuals like this for his future. Is because if they don't do this now and he fights against somebody else with the same skill set or maybe a little bit better like Bivol, it's gonna pose the same problem. And look here, he can fight against a B level fighter that's a real good boxer, and the boxer can beat him because he's not used to that style. So I don't think that Gilberto needs to hold his head down. I think that this is just a loss. Really symbolizes what a learning situation. It's a learning tool. So he has one loss now. So he needs to go back to the drawing board and learn from this loss. Because I think that he still has a major future at the light heavyweight division. So shout out to Bivol. Bivol is the truth. He went out there. He gave this man a superb boxing lesson. And I hope to see him unifying the 175-pound division. I really don't want him to fight Canelo again because I think it's going to be the same outcome. But if he does, I would like to see him move down to 168 pounds and beat up on Canelo again and win all those belts and solidify itself in history. And another thing that I like about Bivol, the money, he said this. He said the money is good, but legacy is everything. See, this is what I've been talking about in boxing. A lot of these fighters, they don't fight for legacy. They just fight for the money. And like I say, the money is good regardless of what money that you make. Boxers should be paid for their blood, sweat, and tears in the ring. But boxing is about legacy. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. It's about facing the best competition and winning all the belts, solidifying yourself in history. So, shout out to Bivol, and I hope that he continue to streak because I'm very high on the brother, and I just hope that the Creator bless the brother in all his endeavors. So, with that being said, peace.